Does anyone know what this is?
Yep.
Yeah, people are nodding? Cool. So this is a Clipper card. SJSU students, according to the website, can get one of these for $3. They give you access to most Valley transportation, not express buses, and they last you your entire time at SJSU. To give you an idea of how great of a deal this is, the VTA sells these 12-month Clipper cards for $880. So, we're saving a lot of money. Everyone in here can get one of these very simply by ordering them online. I have one, obviously, and I use it for my weekly commute. And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about. Your weekly commute and public transportation and its role in it. You should incorporate public transportation in your everyday routine because it is better for the environment than individual cars, which contribute massive unnatural carbon dioxide emissions. First, let's look at the basis of the problem, which is carbon dioxide emissions. According to Carbon Stock Study, carbon dioxide, or CO2, is actually not harmful in small natural amounts. For example, right now, we are all creating CO2. We're breathing in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide, and that's perfectly normal and natural. However, carbon dioxide does become harmful in large amounts. John Platt with Mother Nature Matters explains that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. When greenhouse gases build up in the atmosphere is no longer able to properly repel the radiation from the sun. Instead, it absorbs it, which then heats up the earth. And that is the phenomenon known as global warming. And global warming can have some very serious implications onto our lives and our climate. For example, scientists have been observing the melting ice caps, which have been raising sea levels and causing flooding like what we're seeing now in Venice. Additionally, global warming has been expanding deserts onto once farmable land, which is diminishing people's resources and abilities to get food and money for it. Other issues caused by global warming are animals losing their natural climates and habitats, very, very hot summers and very cold winters, and other weather disasters. And global warming, as I mentioned, is a huge issue and it affects all of us. So we all have to take our position very seriously on global warming. And now that we know what the basis of the problem is, let's look at a source of carbon dioxide emissions that we see in our everyday lives, which is transportation, specifically with our individual cars. According to Matt Kniver at the BBC, transportation driven by rapid growth in car use has been the fastest growing source of CO2 in the world. The United States Environmental Protection Agency agrees, saying that the typical passenger vehicle emits 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. The EPA then specified this, saying that regular cars emit 8,887 grams of carbon dioxide per gallon of gasoline used, and 404 grams per mile driven. Now let's look at this in a practical standpoint. For example, let's take my commute. I live 7 miles away from SJSU and I drive here 4 times a week. If I were to only use a personal vehicle, I would be creating 22,624 grams of carbon dioxide in just 4 days. That's 49.88 pounds of carbon dioxide, again, in 4 days. And that's not including any other driving that I'm doing, to the store, to the mall, etc. And that is a lot of carbon dioxide. Now think of your commute. How much carbon dioxide are you personally responsible for pumping into our atmosphere? Third, and now here we're going to talk about a possible solution, which is public transportation. And public transportation helps reduce CO2 production. According to the Federal Transit Administration, if just one driver per household switched to taking public transportation for a daily commute of 10 miles each way, we would save 4,627 pounds of carbon dioxide per household per year, which is a lot of carbon dioxide that's not going into our atmosphere and helping heat up our Earth. Additionally, the same study found that public transportation created less CO2 in general. For example, buses actually produce 33% less carbon dioxide than an individual vehicle, and trains produce 62% less carbon dioxide. And taking public transportation is just one way that we can help improve our planet, just by helping reduce our carbon emissions and our carbon footprints, because every bit does make a difference. And we can talk about problems and solutions all day, but what really counts is how we implement change. Air pollution is a major problem in large cities, and we should implement public transportation into our routines to help combat this. Carbon dioxide emissions contribute to global warming. Individuals can create several pounds of carbon dioxide during their commutes, while public transportation creates less carbon dioxide in the first place and helps reduce carbon dioxide levels. The best way to combat the emissions that come from transportation is to use public transportation at least a few times in our routine. And as SJSU students, the best way to do that is to use our Clipper cards. So I encourage all of you to go out, order your Clipper cards online, get them at the transportation office in the student union, and actually start using them to get to school or to just get around. This piece of plastic is the key to reducing your carbon footprint. Thank you.